What do you want? Nobody don't matter.
Oh, you got all the things.
You know you do.
Whenever you're ready, put this bit going.
And we are live. Thank you for tuning in to WPNR 90.7 FM, your Pioneer Radio. I'm Rich Artigiani. I'll be hosting tonight for the Rich, Witz, and Jacob show. Joining me, as always, two great friends.
What's going on, Rich?
Jacob's
What's
over
going
here.
on? We had
Setting
a
up the
great
YouTube.
week of sports,
We
except for the New York Jets.
Yeah, well, we'll be getting into that later.
Yeah, I really don't want to, but
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of fun stuff we want to get into. I guess we'll start with the World Series. As we've been doing the past couple weeks, baseball. We're 4 games into the World Series, game 5 tonight. It's been a weird series so far. Momentum keeps shifting back and forth. Philly's got a huge comeback win game 1 after they touched up Verlander. Houston won easily game 2. Philly came home and won in dominant fashion after they teed off Lance McCullers in game 3. And then last night, Houston no hits Philly in game 4. So it's been super back and forth. I don't know who's going to win this series, but Jacob mentioned this in the roundtable. I think it comes down, Jeremy mentioned this in the roundtable. It comes down to tonight. Whoever wins tonight, I think is going to win the series. And I said this last week. My X factor for this series was Noah Syndergaard. I said that if he can find a way to win his start, I think the Phillies are going to be in great position to win this series. And it looks like that's going to come true. If Noah Syndergaard can win this series, I mean, the Phillies are in a great spot. But what do you guys think of this series so far? It's been super weird.
Well, Rich, you bring up Syndergaard tonight. He doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, he has to be okay.
Yeah.
Because
Tell you what sucks.
the Phillies' offense isn't going to do what it did last night. At least you hope not. Syndergaard doesn't have to be perfect. He has to be okay. He's got to give him 3-4 innings, maybe 5. And the Phillies' offense just kind of has to match the Astros. But yeah, I think whoever wins Game 5 will win the series.
Totally.
Yeah, I think what James said on the roundtable, Syndergaard not going more than 2 times around the lineup, I think that's a great point. I think if he gets 2 times around the lineup, that'll be good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see Syndergaard going for. I don't see Verlander going for either. It's still the World Series. He can't pitch the World Series. So.
And he does have 5 days rest too. Is that
Really?
he's got 5?
I
Yeah.
believe so.
But, I mean,
It's in a long
When was he
Friday.
More?
Friday. Yeah. So he's on 5 days, which is
His
good.
day to pitch. So
But I mean, he's yet to prove that he knows how to pitch like Justin Verlander in the World Series. So.
Speaking of being yet to prove, the Astros are still yet to be proven to not cheat in the World Series. And Martin Maldonado tried to use an illegal bet.
That is funny. I know there's the Framber controversy as well. They thought he was going to sticky stuff. I mean, I don't necessarily think he was, but that was a topic of discussion.
of course it was.
Listen, it's because the Astros
If
are
Verlander shows tonight, they're going to say he's just sticky stuff too. So
But that's what they get. That they're going to have
They have that
tarnished
What it is.
reputation for the rest of the time. So I mean, it's been a fun series. It should continue to do so. I'm glad that we get one more game with Philly because the games just feel more exciting there. The home field advantage seems much more apparent to me. But I mean, there's not much else to talk about. I think that's going to wrap up our usual MLB discussion. We are going to jump into our NFL Week 8 recap. The Bills. I like to start with those because they are my boys, and they won against Green Bay in Buffalo on Sunday night. It wasn't a blowout. It was a 10-point victory. But if you watch the game, it felt more convincing than the score would indicate.
it was lopsided.
It was never close.
Yeah.
It was never close.
The Bills had it from the opening snap.
Yeah, the offense, especially in the first half, was just as dynamic as you'd expect. I was perfectly content with that game as a Bills fan. Did everything I could have asked for. Jeremy, I know your Jets.
Yeah. We play the Bills this week, Rich. You guys come from MetLife.
Yeah, I know your
There's a home this
Jets.
week?
Yeah.
I think they're home every week.
They were away back-to-back weeks.
Lambeau and Denver. Yeah.
And yes, also back-to-back against Green Bay.
I've always thought that. I've always thought like the Jets play at home every week.
When they win, it feels like they're always at home. They didn't win at all last week.
Yeah.
Can I get into that real quick?
Yeah.
Zach Wilson looks so bad. He looks so bad.
I won't say anything. I'll get Jeremy.
No, listen. I'm mad at the guy enough. You can say whatever you want. Just let me get to my points here. The Jets defense is really, really good. And we give up 1 touchdown. Nick Folk kicked 5 field goals and 1 extra point. He had 16 points with his right leg. His right leg had 16 points.
Nick Folk's a beast.
We're back to the roughing the passer thing. I know John Frankenmeyer really put a hit onto Mac Jones. He hit him really high and really hard. But I don't know. I mean, I think part of me getting that upset about it is because they had a pick 6 on the same play, and the hit didn't affect the throw. But that's the rule. It sucks. It made me want to smash a hole through my TV, but didn't.
That's good.
Yeah, and there's still more Elijah Moore controversy. He was asked about his chemistry with Zach Wilson, and he said, quote, "I don't know because I don't get the ball," end quote.
He's acting like he's Calvin Johnson.
I know.
The guy's
He's
he's
a
a
baby.
second-year receiver who
Hasn't
pretty
proven
well.
himself.
This one is
He
good
He
year.
played okay,
He's
yeah.
done nothing besides that.
No. And you want the ball. I said last week or two. Get open. That's what you do as a wide receiver. But yeah, Zach Wilson, losses on him. He looked like a quarterback when he actually set his feet and threw the ball. But when he runs around like a chicken without a head and throws off his back foot and lobs it up to anyone that's not wearing a black New York Jets jersey, it's not winning football. They lost the game and it's on him.
Yeah.
I can't say that enough.
Jacob, your Cardinals fell victim to Kirktober. Give your input on that game.
Yeah, I mean, turnovers haven't been a problem for the Cardinals this year, and that was a huge positive. And we turned Kyler Murray almost looked as bad as Zach Wilson this week. Not as bad, but they look bad, and it's just I don't know. I don't even know what to say.
It's not a fun team. I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest with you. I don't really enjoy the Cardinals. It's not fun.
I don't watch them because I don't have a way to.
Yeah,
Really, because I live in New York, not Arizona. But yeah, it wasn't pretty. Defense just didn't play as good as they had been playing this season, and we turned the ball over when we needed to. I mean, Greg Deutsch muffed the punt. We were down by 2. We had all the momentum. Literally, we had all the momentum. Down by 2. We hold them to a 3 now. They punt the ball. We're getting the ball back, and we must have punt like twice.
Yeah.
And right there, that was it.
Yeah. So Jacob, take me through real quick our prediction records.
Yeah.
Last week.
Yeah,
'Cause,
let's-
Jeremy and I
I
both-
believe.
I think Rich had a winning week.
Yeah.
Rich got us in the game. Yeah,
One game.
Rich went 10-5.
Woo!
Jeremy and I both went 9-6.
Yeah,
So now
real
Jeremy's up.
I'm making inroads, people. I'm
Jeremy's still up 54-21 in the season. I am second at 48-27. And Rich is coming in close at 45-30.
Oh, I'm coming. Don't worry. One game
There's
at a
so-
time.
Long season, Rich.
We're not even halfway.
One game.
Nah,
at a
it's
time.
This week is halfway.
Yeah.
We have a lot.
Which is crazy to think about.
And there's a few tough games this week. Which
Yeah.
we should.
Yeah.
Sticking with the NFL, we're like you said, almost
A lot of tough
halfway
games.
through the season. Before we get into our predictions, I'm interested. I want to hear your hot seat coaches for this season.
Get me going, Rich.
Should
Uh,
have said that. Jeremy's.
I was going to ask for your top 3. I just want to hear your top 1 at this point because in my opinion, there's a lot. It's hard to pick, but if you had to pick one big hot seat guy who is next to be fired in the NFL, who is he?
I'm gonna say Brandon Staley from the Chargers. I mean, I think part of it dates back to last season, week 18, when they
It's a good pick. Yeah.
played the Raiders, and if they won, they could have made the playoffs. Now, I don't remember the game fully, but I remember the last couple minutes. Did they have the ball at the end?
I don't
Didn't
know.
they?
Which week?
The last week of the season last year, when the Chargers played the Raiders, and the winner went to the
Oh,
playoffs.
that game was yes.
And if they
did have the
Oh, the
Tied,
Monday
they
night
would-
game.
Yeah, and they tied. They both would have made it. I forget how it went down,
Yeah.
but obviously the Chargers didn't make it.
This season's been too crazy to remember.
I mean, the Chargers team, that's a really talented team. I know
Yeah.
Keenan Allen isn't there, but with the whole Eckler thing the first couple weeks, and Herbert isn't playing that great. I don't blame it on
Keenan Allen
Herbert.
always does this too, you know. Like he's always a few weeks he's out. They never seem to have.
And he
the
just
ball.
kinda
That's
disappears.
a very good point.
I don't think Staley's that great of a coach. He just stands on the sideline and looks like a puppet. He's kind of there. So I think if the Chargers continue to struggle, which in my mind they will, and Justin Herbert is way too talented to not win games, but it's not his fault if they're losing.
Yeah.
So I'm saying Staley's my top guy on the hot seat.
Jacob?
Yeah, I know we're saying top guy. I'm gonna say 2 because one's biased and one's unbiased.
Well, one, but your biased one makes a lot of sense.
My bias. That's why I'm saying 2. I'll start with my biased one. It's Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Why?
I've been saying it since he got hired. The guy can't call it like to save his life. He's supposed to be an offensive guru, and he's a nothing guru. He's horrible. I hate him so much. Only thing that he has going for him is his house, because it's a really nice house. And that, yeah, unbiased. Jeremy, great pick with Staley. That Chargers team is very talented. A team that is 100 more times talented. And Jeremy's going to love his pick. Todd Bowles.
Yeah.
Oh.
He needs to go.
Great.
Oh,
He is-
my goodness.
I don't even understand. First of all, Bruce Arians retired. He was awesome. I love the guy. He was a Cardinals
He's a
coach.
great coach. He's
I
awesome.
know he was sick, so he had to go. But how do you then say, "Ooh, Todd Bowles is now our head coach. Let's go."
Who's such
No.
a bad coach. for the
No.
Jets.
I was saying,
No, he's a great defensive coordinator.
but that's
He knows
all
defense.
he is.
Like he needs to
That
stick
is
with that.
all that guy is.
It's kind of like I don't know how you're gonna feel about this. It's kind of like Saleh. Saleh is a defensive guy.
Yeah,
They have an offensive guy in LaFleur.
right. But
He's
that
not
it works.
great, but he's pretty
It
good.
works.
Todd
It
Bowles,
works
like-
better than the
if-
Bucs.
If Saleh was trying to control his team, they'd be in trouble. But the Jets are playing it smart because they have other guys.
Right. It's not all on Salah.
Todd Bowles, I don't even know what he's doing. He seems to be trying to control his team because Leftwich doesn't look great either. But
Todd Bowles has
I don't
the
get it.
same confused look on
Yeah.
his face for every second
if,
of
if,
every
if you look at and I know they just lost Shaquille Barrett, but if you look at the Buccaneers depth chart, that is, first of all, they won the Super Bowl
2
years ago.
Yeah.
and they re-signed every single starting player. It was the first time ever in history.
Yeah.
They came back the following season and had everything. I think they still have most of them because it's
The
only 2
whole
years
line they
later.
lost, but other than that,
But-
yeah.
Brady, Fournette, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, who's Julio Jones, but he's still Julio Jones. Russell Gage, who's a 3, which can be very good. You have Tristan Wirfs, you have Shaq Mason, Akeem Hicks, Vita Vea, Devin White, Levante Davis,
Such-
Shaquille
What's
Barrett,
going
who's
on?
now hurt, but when he was playing Shaquille Barrett,
He was very good.
and the secondary, which I love, which is Jamal Dean, Winfield's awesome, Carlton Davis.
The team's
that
very,
team
very
is
good.
insane.
Yeah. But
If the Cardinals had that team, I'd be jumping off walls. How is that team not winning?
I know on the roundtable I kept talking about Brady because
But
it's Tom Brady.
Todd Bowles.
But- It is so nice to see Tom Brady struggle with Todd Bowles, just like the Jets had to do for multiple years.
he's
so
I
nice.
think he's the problem.
Oh, I mean, you look at his track record as a head coach.
But when
all
you
his
look,
teams are
when
really
you
bad.
look at the
Yeah, Leftwich is really
when
bad.
you look
Yeah,
at
it's-
their roster, and
There's no excuse.
what's the problem? It's the coach.
I mean, it
You
has to be
talk
great.
about a team that sucks with an amazing roster. It has to do with the coach. So how is he still on that team? How are the Bucks 3-5?
Doesn't make any sense. The team is way too talented. He's just not. You look at his track record as a DC, and you look at his track record as a head coach.
Super Bowl is
It's
easy.
night and day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Rich is got
Great pick, Brandon Staley. I was thinking about going with him. Todd Bowles was also a great pick. I'm going to go with a team who's struggling enough to where I think it's imminent they will fire him. Frank Reich with the Indianapolis Colts. Frank Reich has never blown anyone away as a head coach. I think, the Colts' expectations were never so high where, he wasn't, he was going to get fired if they didn't, go to the Super Bowl or whatever. The issue with Frank Reich, this was the nail in the coffin for me. I talked about this last week. I went off on a total tangent. Putting Sam Allen as your quarterback one for the rest of the season, it's just so questionable because he was a late round draft pick. I don't understand why you're putting so much faith in this guy when you have on paper one of the most talented rosters in the AFC. And like I said this last week, these guys are not going to be here forever, man. You're wasting this entire season, and it's all on Frank Reich. And so for me, once this season ends, I think they'll probably wait till the end of the season to do this. Jim Irsay and Chris Ballard need to get together and say, Frank Reich, thanks for the past few seasons where you put in a million different quarterbacks.
another team
but-
with a super talented
yeah.
roster.
But you're all set, Frank. Thanks for your service. So yeah, I just wanted to gather some input on that, some hot seat coaches. And one more thing before we get into predictions for Week 9.
Oh,
Cue the music, people.
Favorite time of
It's
the
time. Clown show of the week. Jeremy, I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, let me start off. This is gonna be really bad.
Who's your clown show?
My clown show of the week is none other than Zach Wilson.
I was going to do that, but I did Jeremy's to do it. So
Oh, my
have to
God.
have it.
I've been so mad at him all week long. 3 interceptions, and it's not even like the defense made good plays. 2 out of the 3 were so bad. They just throw the ball away. Throw it away.
He's afraid of doing it.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
Like Robert Saleh's gonna get mad.
Yeah, like, and what the McCourty's first pick, which is Wilson's second, he tried to throw it out of bounds. He tried to throw it out of bounds. Throw it to row 15.
Yeah.
Also, that was not an interception. He was out of bounds.
He was, it don't matter. That throw was
Just my take on that.
unacceptable. And then his third one, running around, back foot, boom, into quadruple coverage. Tyler Conklin isn't Randy Moss. The ball wasn't even near him.
Yeah.
And then, sweet you brought up Salah getting mad at Wilson. He was asked why Wilson has trouble throwing the ball away. He said, "We have to figure it out." Your
Great answer.
Your quarterback was drafted number 2 overall. Just lost you the game. That there was no doubt you should have won. Going into that game, the Jets had no reason to lose. I mean, you gave up 1 touchdown. Zach Wilson, wake up, or you'll be on the streets flipping burgers at McDonald's, and Lamar Jackson will be Eric Jet.
Lamar Jackson.
Anyone else, if he continues like this for the next 2-3 weeks,
Yeah,
he's done.
It's not.
He has to. I'm not expecting him to go play like prime Peyton Manning. But, dude, if there's nothing there, throw it to row 75.
Yeah.
I don't care where the ball goes. Just don't let it go to the defender's hands.
Jacob, your
Yeah.
clown show.
I was going to pick DJ Moore, but we clowned enough on the round table.
Yeah.
He is my pick, but I'm going to change. I put 2 because I know it was a round table topic. I'm going to go with the entire Las Vegas Raiders team. Specifically Derek Carr.
Rich.
I'm sorry, Rich.
No.
We've backed the guy
He's
up.
awful.
We've backed that team enough backed up that team enough this season. How do you score 0 points against the Saints? I know that team has a good defense, but it's depleted.
Was
They're hurt.
Lattimore playing?
My next point, Lattimore wasn't playing.
That was my answer.
How did Devontae Adams not get the ball? What did he do last week?
It took him to the 4th quarter to
Yeah.
get past like one of the historically bad.
1 catch
Yeah.
for 3 yards.
And they don't throw to run throw either, which
And
puzzles
who's guarding him?
I think Derek Carr.
And you have your running back having a career year. Who's a top 3 running back this season?
Yeah. And
Josh Jacobs looks unstoppable.
How many carries did he get last week? 'Cause I know he didn't really do much.
Yeah, he didn't do much.
He didn't get many because they were down. the
Well,
entire game.
right.
10.
Yeah,
And
like
it was all early.
Wow.
yeah.
That team needs to figure it out. They're definitely.
You know,
Clown
Josh
show.
McDaniels is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
My clown show, I was torn between a bunch of guys. I wanted to go DJ Moore, but like you said, we just clowned him on the round
Yeah.
table. I thought about going Kyrie Irving. I also thought about going Josh Primo for being an absolute pervert and exposing himself to multiple women and ruining his career. I'm gonna go a little more lighthearted, something funnier. My clown show of the week is Mattress Mac.
Nope.
Mattress
You know who
Mac.
Mattress Mac
Oh,
is?
that guy?
If you
No, that's the guy. That's fine with anything. Mattress Mac is the really old dude
yeah.
who bets millions of dollars in the Astros.
Oh yeah.
If,
I know him.
if you don't know Mattress Mac, Jeremy just explained.
Oh
a
yes,
little bit.
the furniture guy. He has like 60 million of
Yeah,
them or
Mattress
something.
Mac.
He's a
How is he furniture?
listen. He's a multi-millionaire mattress salesman from Houston. He's a Houston sports super fan, especially the Astros. Year after year, he bets absurd amounts of money on the Astros to win the World Series. He stands to win over like 100 million or something like that.
That's a good
The Astros
sperm,
win. It's an
You done that?
insane amount of money. And say what you want about him, I don't. I think it's a bit pompous that he bets this much money on sports. But the reality is,
Gross.
he's actually heralded as a very generous.
10 million.
Yeah,
Well, that was.
he's
This-
ac-
wait, hold on. Wait, I'm sorry. 10 million, like this World Series.
Yes. To win the World Series.
That was the bet this year.
Yes, and if they win the World Series, he will net $75 million.
crazy. So
Oh my
listen,
goodness.
he's actually heralded as a very philanthropic and generous guy because I know he does a lot of charity work and stuff like that. Here's why he's the clown show, though. I don't know if you saw. He was at Game 3 of the World Series in Philly. He showed up. Spirits were high. Philly fans were actually more embraceful to him than I
I'm
expected.
surprised it didn't hurt him.
Things took a turn, though, after he watched his boy Lance McCullers give up 5 home runs.
Yeah, well,
Mattress Mac was filmed in Citizens Bank Park, yelling, screaming, cursing out Philly fans, trying to
Man,
fight.
see
This
this.
is like an old man. He was trying to fight a Philly fan. I'm assuming he was probably really drunk because he was
Watching
making,
that games.
he was making an absolute tool of himself. And like it really is going to tarnish his reputation, I think, because he was like being a real jerk. So yeah, I went lighthearted with my clown show pick. It's Mattress Mac this week.
Yeah, before we move on, I'm going to add another clown show. Lance McCullers.
Yeah, that's a fair pick.
in the World
As a
Series,
baseball
bro.
player, I have never seen. I think my grandma, shout out you, grandma, could have read his pitches. I have never seen somebody tip their pitches worse.
That's really bad. You know what? They deserve it.
There was a
That's-
difference in 2 feet. He was
That
looking
is
his like
karma coming full circle. That's exactly what that is.
as pitching in the World Series. That guy should not pitch.
Yeah. Bryce Harper and Kevin Long
Oh my
picked
God.
up on it.
Yeah, I saw the clip today.
Oh my god.
Harper just got back to the bench. Bone was on deck, and then Harper's
I
like,
love
"Yo,
Harper.
Bomber, come here." And he's whispered his ear what was going on, and then
Boom, hits a home run.
Yeah.
First pitch, I think.
I love Harper's amazing.
Yeah.
he's a really good guy.
Yeah.
All right. So that'll do it for our clown show of the week. Now we'll get into our week 9 predictions. Real quick, we just talked about this on the roundtable. Eagles, Texans. Why is this a bad time game? Eagles are going to win. Jeremy.
Eagles.
Jacob.
Eagles.
All right. I think that's all we can talk about that game.
Robert Quinn
Yeah.
making his Eagles debut tonight. So
Moving on. Falcons, Chargers. We got.
take the Falcons. Ryan with Rich.
Yeah. Jacob.
I don't know.
Don't know. There you go. Because I mean, the Chargers are the most confusing team in the league.
It's
I think
just-
we can agree.
You don't know what's Staley, man. You don't know what that
I
guy's
think this.
thinking.
I actually just looked at my picks. There's a few I don't have.
I don't know about some of them.
Who you got?
I'll go Chargers.
All right,
Oh,
good. That makes me feel a lot better about taking the Falcons. Because I mean, this has motivation.
Yeah,
They're
I'm a
leading
big Herbert fan, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna go Chargers.
I think one last
This
week.
was a hard pick, but I'm gonna take the Falcons. They're leading that division. They got motivation. Dolphins, Bears.
Thank you.
We got-
Easier. God.
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Yeah. It's
Not much of a question.
Tyreek is good. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dolphins by a lot.
Dolphins. If the Bears had held on to Quinn and Roquan Smith at the deadline, I would have been more inclined to say this is a trap game for the Dolphins, especially because the Bears' offense is now scoring points, which seems near miraculous.
Yeah. They're putting up 29 points last week.
Yeah.
That was
The
very impressive.
Cowboys defense.
I actually wrote that down in a recap. That was super impressive.
Yeah, but I gotta go Dolphins here. Really, this is my snooze fest of the week, by the way. Really boring game. Raiders, Jaguars. Who you got?
I got the Jags.
The two, by the
Taking
way,
Jags.
these two quarterbacks were unequivocally the worst two quarterbacks last week. I think Trevor Lawrence was worse than Zach Wilson. I really do.
I didn't watch.
Last
I'm
week.
happy I didn't because then I want to
Trevor
judge my
Lawrence,
eyes more.
Trevor Lawrence was terrible last week. You're going Raiders?
No, I'm going
Jaguars?
Jags,
Wow.
and I'm going Jags. One, it's in Jacksonville, and two, Travis Etienne.
Yeah,
That's why.
Jacob?
Yeah, I think Etienne's really good, but I gotta go with the Raiders. I think they have a lot more to lose because they're a team that's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
The Jaguars are really supposed to be good. I mean, the Jaguars are supposed to be they're talented, and I think they can be a 500 team, but they weren't supposed to be good. The Raiders were supposed to be good, and they have. This is it.
Right.
I got the Raiders.
I also have the Raiders, just because I can see Trevor Lawrence playing as bad as he did last week. I don't think Derek Carr is going to play that bad again. I don't think he has, but this is the most confusing NFL season of my life, I think. So who knows? But I'm taking Raiders. Patriots, Colts. Who you got?
I went with the Patriots.
Yeah.
Jacob, Patriots.
I just looked to see, if Sam Ellinger's playing. It's going to be the Patriots.
Yeah, I don't. I
Bill
mean,
Belichick is going to make that guy look like a fool.
and if I were to bet against the Patriots, like I did last week, I would cry. So I'm
Yeah,
taking the Patriots.
I'm going Patriots as well. I think this might be one of the only games this year where you can confidently say Mac Jones is the best quarterback playing today. It sucks.
I just think Ramondre Stevenson is just
Yeah.
muck.
So that's Patriots sweep. We'll go Commanders, Vikings. This is my toughest game.
It was tough, but it shouldn't have been that tough. I went with the Vikings.
Yeah.
I don't want to go against Heineke, but we're in Kirk Vember now.
Yeah, man.
And Kirk's got a new toy. He's going to use
TJ
TJ Hawkinson, man. I got the Vikings.
Jacob.
Where'd you go?
Okay. Wow, he's having trouble. I had
Looking at the
Commanders.
injuries right now.
I had Commanders written, but I mid-season Kirk Cousins is like the best quarterback of all time. I got to go with the Vikings. I think it'll be close just because the Taylor Heineke magic is still rolling, but I got to take Vikings here.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it'll be closer than it should be.
Yeah.
Because I think you said it all the time. The Commanders, they want to play for Heineke.
Yeah.
So-
I think there's also, this is just my excuse for picking the Vikings over the Commanders. The Commanders might be thinking about this whole Dan Snyder situation now that he just put the team up for sale. There's a lot of drama going on with that organization. I'm going to take the Vikings. Jacob. It seems like it shouldn't be that difficult.
I know. I
but
feel like we
it's
got
Taylor
to
Heineke.
make it interesting. I'm gonna go Commanders.
Yeah, good.
I don't hate that pick. I really don't.
There's a big gap in the picks. You know,
This is going to be a
This is how
very,
you make it
up.
very
Yeah, you gotta
lopsided
change
week.
Good pick.
I think in Washington, I think they have a
Yeah, that's the
shot.
thing that kind of
I think the
conflicting
Vikings
me, it
didn't
being in
look
Washington.
I don't think they looked that great against the Cardinals last week. I think
Yeah, it wasn't
for
amazing.
that reason I'm gonna go
That's fair.
Washington. Yeah, I got the Commanders.
Green Bay against Detroit.
This is another
guy.
guy. No clue.
I don't know
Yeah.
Me
on
too. I
my-
don't even have
on
anything.
my
really.
doc about 4 minutes ago. I wrote in Packers because I just don't think the Lions are that good. I think Rodgers is now playing a really poor defense.
Yeah.
And I think guys like Christian Watson can actually do something against poor defense, so I'm taking the Packers.
Another game with both teams going in with huge losing streaks. I'm gonna go Packers, and that's because the Lions let up over 30 points a game. It's
Yeah, exactly.
horrible,
Yeah.
and I think Lazard's gonna play this week.
They
Rodgers guy.
Lazard plays. I have to pick
So
him.
yeah, I'm gonna go Packers.
Yeah, I'm going Green Bay as well. They looked a little better this past week against the best team in the league. So,
But still, they need to run the ball.
yeah,
almost
it
every
still
play.
wasn't great. They looked marginally better.
Yeah.
Also,
but I still think the Packers need to run the ball every play.
So, and Aaron Rodgers historically doesn't win lose to Detroit. That's
Yeah.
another reason I'm picking them. Bills Jets. Jeremy, go ahead.
I'm taking my New York Jets.
Oh,
I don't care. I'm taking them.
oh,
It's a week before a bye week.
wow.
I think if this Jets team wants respect, they come out hard. They come out fast. They play hard football. It does this week. You get hurt, you have a week off. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Jacob.
So a few weeks ago, I asked Jeremy if he would ever pick against the Jets and what teams it would take, and he did say the Bills. He's
But
changed his mind because
after
I did
last
take
week-
against the Cardinals when they played
Yeah.
the Eagles. I'm sorry.
No,
I
that's
know
fine.
Bills.
Like I totally get the Bills.
Yeah,
but
no.
This is 100% biased.
I
pick.
think it could be a good game, and I root for.
I think it really
I always
should.
root for the Jets. You know, a lot of my family are Jet fans. I watch all the games when I'm home. I like watching them. I think if Zach Wilson can throw the ball away today or Sunday and maybe look like a quarterback,
I think
it could be.
a lot of
I
it.
don't know if they have a chance. I think it could be a game, but I got the Bills.
A lot of it comes down to Stephon Diggs versus Sauce Gardner. That's what the game's gonna come down to. Yeah, you have Gabe Davis. Yeah, you have Dawson Knox, and now you have Naheem Hines. I'm not worried about the Jets defense. It's gonna be so cool to see Sauce take on the best receiver. That's gonna be so cool.
Obviously, I'm taking my Bills,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry to do this. I'm putting it on blowout watch, man.
Oh
I
no, don't do that.
I know the Jets' defenses are great, but I
Someone's gotta
don't know
do
if there's a defense great enough to handle the Bills right now. I got the Bills probably by at least double digits. I'm sorry, Jeremy, but
All right, so if the
it's
Jets
not,
win
it's
by
not a ridiculous
if
take.
the Jets lose by 9 or less, does that count as a loss for you?
No, absolutely not. Come on. I gotta make some. I gotta make a comeback.
No, I don't hate that because
Right.
it's the Jets. They haven't beat the Bills in so long.
So we'll move to Jeremy's other team, the Cincinnati Bengals and
Let him have one straight up.
the Carolina Panthers. Who you got?
Taking the Bengals, I mean, they were on a 4-game winning streak. You lose on Monday, they looked really bad.
Weird.
You didn't have Jamar, you didn't have Eli Apple, and Chido Uzi also towards ACL done for the year.
Ooh.
So that's not good. I don't know if Eli Apple's playing on Sunday. I haven't looked. It's been a really up and down season for the Bengals. Back at home, and the Panthers, who aren't good. I mean, PJ Walker's really fun to watch, but I don't love it. I don't see him being with the Bengals. I want to bring up one guy in particular, Cam Taylor-Britt. He's a rookie. He made his first start on Monday. He was
cornerback.
Yeah, corner. He was guarding Donovan Peoples-Jones up until. Huh?
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did everything.
He torched him, right?
I don't know. I don't know the
I don't know
line.
if he torched him.
I know at least in the beginning, but once Cheetah went down, I think Britt was cornerback one. So this defense is a little banged. At least the secondary is a little banged up. So, yeah, I'm taking the Bengals.
Yes, still a good matchup.
Yeah, I got the Bengals. I think the
Burrow's gonna go.
the Panthers are horrible.
It's Burrow after a loss.
Yeah,
I think DJ Moore killed any spirit that the Panthers had.
It's
So yeah,
it's the Bengals. I will say, Panthers look substantially better without Matt Rule and with PJ Walker. Like I said, PJ Walker made the best throw I've ever seen in my life last week. This team still can't compete with Cincinnati. I don't care that they just got blown out by the Browns.
yeah. Also, the Browns though looked amazing.
It did.
They looked really good.
I don't know
Going
if that
into a
was
bye week, they have the bye week now, and we all hate to say it, but they do have Deshaun Watson coming back in
I
4 or 5 weeks.
I completely forget
So-
about that guy every time.
And as much as we hate him, and I know he hasn't played in a long time, he's really, really good. So
Brissett hasn't.
I
looked bad
actually am a little afraid of the Browns. I think
That's top
team's
10
pretty good.
passing yards.
I'm afraid of the Browns, but they always find a way.
I know, but they just look so good. We watched
I
the
know.
game; they just look good.
Yeah, Kevin
Cooper,
Stefanski.
Chubb, Garrett, they look really good.
Kevin Stefanski is a better coach than I thought after his coaching performance last year. He's looked a lot better this year, dealing with a team that really is not deep. So, yeah, the Browns are an interesting team. But we're going to move to Seahawks Cardinals.
I don't know.
Jacob, I'll let you go first.
But I don't know. Cardinals.
Okay.
No, I do know. It's just, I don't know. They're just pissed. They piss me off every week.
Rich, you go.
I can't see the Seahawks again.
I think it's going to be a good game, but I'm going to take the Seahawks. I think the situation in Arizona is not great with Kingsbury. Seahawks are rolling. Pete Carroll is going to outcoach Cliff Kingsbury because Pete Carroll's a good coach.
John, I'm going to give you another second thing.
I need more than a couple.
Do you guys know what the topic of the week in Arizona was after they lost?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
No. Kyler Murray wearing a wrist, like put the play call on his wrist for the first time in college. That's what we were worried about.
What do you mean?
He wore the play calls on his
During the
wrist. He usually never does.
Okay,
And
that's a problem.
It is no. That was the topic of the week since we lost. That's what everybody's
Fun
been talking
stuff
about on
going on
Twitter.
there.
Oh, okay. So
That's been the topic of the week in Arizona.
So Kyler has been. He wore that on his.
He wore it
wrist
for the first
on
time
Sunday.
since he played in Texas A&M.
And okay. So
That's what they
that's
cared
so
about.
stupid.
That's what they cared about.
What?
It's because Kingsbury can't, because he can't remember a play. Like Kingsbury, we get in the red zone and he starts jittering. He's like, he doesn't know what to call.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray has to call a play because we get in the red zone, he doesn't know what to
He
do.
always looks like he's tweaking.
You
Well,
see his eyes? It's like
Yeah.
bug eyes.
based off that, I mean, I'll take the Seahawks, I guess, because that is just a dumb problem you can think about having. So I'm going Seahawks, I guess.
A lot of,
Bucks
I guess,
Rams.
this week.
Bucks Rams we talked about on the roundtable. We got
Taking the Bucks. I mean,
yeah, I got the Bucks too.
no, Cooper Kupp didn't practice today. I don't know if
probably
he's
won't
going to
play. Yeah.
play on Sunday. And I don't think this game, I don't think the winner is definitely going to end up making the playoffs. But me and Jacob talked about this either last night or the night before. I think this game determines who won't be making the playoffs. And that's what Jacob brought up the other night. I completely agree with him.
You got the Bucks, you said?
Yeah, I got the Bucks tonight. I didn't realize Cooper Cup was this questionable. But another point, I think the Rams without Cooper Cup are a bottom 5 team.
Oh, totally.
It's not a bad take. Yeah, I'm also taking the Buccaneers just because, although they're both losing, Bucks have looked better.
In Tampa.
Bucks have looked better than the Rams.
I think in Tampa is a big
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tough.
big boost for the Bucks.
Sunday night game, Chiefs Titans. What you got?
Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Titans have a very good run defense. Only
don't
problem with playing the Chiefs, they don't run the football.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs too. I do think it's going to be somewhat of a big game though.
Yep.
I don't think this spread's like 12 and a half. I think that's so disrespectful. And I think it could be a blowout to Patrick Mahomes
An Arrowhead.
with my guy Darius Stoney's on the team.
Oh,
Still
he's playing this
Still
week.
love that trade. Yeah, he's not playing like he's gonna be on a snap count, but he's playing.
Oh, it's
But
he's going to touchdown.
Still, I think the Titans should gain a little respect, and I think it could be somewhat of a good game. But yeah, the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I also have the Chiefs. I'm not sold on the Titans.
Yeah.
Playing second best team. Man, Monday Night Football, Ravens Saints. Weird primetime game in my opinion.
Yeah.
Who you got?
I got the Ravens.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any word on Mark Andrews? Is he playing?
I don't think it matters.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm just wondering because that kind of determines how bad I think the game will go. Saints.
What did he hurt? He hurt his
I believe it was
Shoulder ending.
And wow, okay, so he's
Did not
probably,
practice today.
So he
Yeah.
probably won't
He has
play,
not
but I don't
practiced
think
Isaiah
that
Likely is a
changes it.
very
Gus
good
Edwards
tight
has
end.
also not practiced.
Oh no, the Gus Bus.
Oh no!
Gus Bus. He's amazing.
I mean, it's still Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And if the Saints don't have Lattimore, I don't really think it matters. Deshaun Jackson is a Raven, isn't he?
yeah, that's
He might suit up this week.
Hell yeah. That'd be sick.
I'm taking the Ravens.
Jacob?
Yeah, I got the Ravens too.
Yeah, I have the Ravens Saints coming off a fluke win. Ravens look pretty sharp against Tampa. Not much to talk about there.
Very clean.
That'll wrap up NFL for the hour. Real quickly, I want to talk about this past college football week. Hughes, massive disappointment.
Yeah, Reg.
Yeah.
What's going on? Can they bounce back?
Well, listen.
We asked that after the
Yeah,
who did this week?
Clemson, which is a
Clemson,
much more understandable loss.
Whoa.
They did not look good.
Notre
in that
Dame
game.
in Syracuse.
And I get Schrader was hurt. Schrader was in crutches.
Oh, really?
Spot in crutches. Their backup.
The running back, right?
Del Rio Wilson is their backup.
Traders are starting running back, right?
Yeah. So, that's not good. I don't think Schrader's playing this week. I'm not sure the status of his injury, but he was on crutches, so I don't think he's playing. It's going to be Del Rio Wilson. If Hughes has any shot to salvage this season, Sean Tucker, you got to step up.
Who did win this week?
They are playing Pitt this week.
Okay.
I think
They got Wake Forest, right?
Yeah, Wake Forest looked terrible this past
Oh my
week.
God.
I'm much more comfortable with that game now after Wake Forest's awful
Yeah.
performance against Louisville last week. And then, real quickly, you mentioned this in roundtable. Tennessee, Georgia, possible game of the year. Tennessee is the number one team in the college football playoff. If they win, they will more than likely hold that spot for the rest of the season unless they just implode. And if Georgia wins, they are going to be the number one team in the college football playoff. So it's going to be a great game. We're going to move into the Heisman race like we do every week. I will start my honorable mentions, two guys dropped out this week. Sam Hartman, like I just mentioned, Wake Forest looked awful. He threw 3 interceptions. One of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Probably the worst. I really like him, but that was a really bad performance. And Bo Nix, he had his cup of coffee in my ranking. He didn't have a bad game, but he threw 2 picks, and he's got 5 on the year. I don't love that for a Heisman. So my honorable mention, I'm doing something crazy. My first non-quarterback is going to get his mention. It's Jalen Hyatt, Tennessee wide receiver. Probably the most valuable position player in college football this year, or most valuable non-quarterback. His last 3 games, 519 receiving yards and 9 touchdowns is unbelievable. On the season, he's got 45 catches for 907 yards and 14 touchdowns.
We get 9 touchdowns. What?
The past 3 games, he has 9 touchdowns and over 500 yards. Yeah. He's just been statistically the best receiver in college football this year, and the value he brings to that team is just incalculable. He's not going to win. They won't get to wide receiver, but I got to mention him. Number 5, Drake May. I got to give love to Drake May, North Carolina quarterback. They're very sneakily 7-1, which I did not realize until I was making my ranking. Up there with Mike Penix Jr. as the most statistically impressive quarterback this year. 71.3 completion percentage, 2,670 yards, 29 touchdowns and 2 picks, 185.5 pass rating, 439 rushing yards. He's looked real good for a team who might contend to win the ACC. I don't know. Number 4, Max Duggan. He falls 1 spot. TCU quarterback. They narrowly beat West Virginia. It wasn't really his fault. He did throw an interception, but still had a good game. Season numbers are still good. 67.5 completion percentage, 2,212 yards, 22 touchdowns with 2 picks, 182.5 passer rating. Number 3, Caleb Williams moves back up. USC quarterback. He had his best game of the year, and that team still hunts for the Pac-12 championship. 64.7 completion percentage, 2,382 yards, 24 touchdowns and 1 pick, and 165.6 passer rating. Number 2, I still have CJ Stroud. They got a pretty big win over Penn State. He just didn't have an insane game. That's what's keeping him at 71.3 completion percentage on the year, 2,377 yards, 29 touchdowns, 4 picks, and 200.2 passer rating. The pass rating is insane, but what is keeping me at 2 is the 4 interceptions. And number 1, still, Hendon Hooker, Tennessee quarterback. This team just keeps winning. Very impressive win over Kentucky. They blew them out 44-6. And a win over Georgia is going to make it really hard for Hendon Hooker to lose this Heisman, I think. It would take a statistical implosion for him to lose. 71.2% completion percentage, 2,338 yards, 21 touchdowns to 1 pick, and a 191.6 pass rating. That is my list for the week. Jalen Hyatt, honorable mention. Drake May 5, Max Duggan 4, Caleb Williams 3, CJ Stroud 2, and Hendon Hooker 1.
You say 1 interception?
Yeah, Hendon Hooker has 1 interception.
How many touchdowns?
1 more.
Well, that's my eyes. I think it's
It's an
later.
insane ratio, yeah. Jacob?
Yeah, Rich said just about everything I was going to say, like to the D. Players who fell, Sam Hartman, looked horrible.
Yeah.
Honorable mention, Michael Penix Jr.
Yeah.
They have 2 losses, but his
Yes.
stats are insane. His stats are insane, but they do have 2 losses. My other honorable mention is Blake Corum,
Yeah.
running back on Michigan. I mean, the guy is just running the ball like 14 touchdowns, averaging 6 yards a carry. And in his past 5 games, 243 rushing yards, 133, 124, 166, 177, 4 touchdowns the past 2 weeks. 4, 6, 7, 8 in the past 5 games. I mean, he's been really well. But be really good. Number 5, I have Bo Nix. He did throw for 2 picks, but he did also throw for over 400 yards.
Yeah,
He
he's
played well. Team still won. Number 4, Drake May.
Yeah.
Like you said, I didn't even know he was that good.
Yeah.
The guy threw for 5 touchdowns, completed almost 80% of his passes. I mean, he looked really good. That team looks really good. I'm excited to see them play a good team.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Number 3, Caleb Williams, who I think is soon going to jump Stroud. I always put him over Stroud. He played amazing. Like you said, his best game of the year wasn't close. 2 Stroud, 1 Hooker. I don't think it's really a question right now.
Yeah.
I think the bigger question is Stroud or Caleb Williams, too, for me.
Right. Okay, well, you guys like your New York Rangers, so I'll let you guys go ahead.
The New York Rangers. Jacob, they're back on track a little bit.
Finally.
That's 3 wins in a row. The blue shirts. They're actually playing right now against the Bruins, who, as we know, are a very, very good hockey team. Jacob, what do you want to say about our boys in blue?
I love them so much. I love the Rangers.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice. I love
Um,
them too. They're nice.
the whole I ruined it by meeting them. That's over. Yeah,
Well, that was
Chris,
my
that's
dad.
over.
I just was saying it for my
It's over,
dad.
Chris. They've looked so much better. Defenses look better. Letting up 19 shots to the Flyers with an OT period. They look awesome. I think the Flyers offense sucks. So I'm not going to totally be like, oh my God, this defense is back. But the defense looks good. They looked a lot better. I think tonight's going to be the biggest test against the Bruins. It's going to be really good, which is going on right now. I can't wait to go watch that game. Kreider. He's looking like Kreider again. And I think that's
he's got
a
8 points.
huge thing. I think our power play looks better than it did in a few games with the flaw. I think we need to get him the puck. After I watched pretty much every Ranger game, and watching our power plays, teams are sticking to Nico, which is what they need to do because his one-timer is one of the best in the league.
It is lethal.
Teams are finding him where he always stands in the same spot. He's just waiting for the puck. And so get the puck in front of the net. Kreider
Let Kreider
26 power play goals last
Let him
year.
do exactly what
He
he
has
did last
1
year.
this year.
Simplement.
1. I think it was game 1.
I think it was. It was on the first one.
And listen, only 11 games in this time.
It's very early.
But we need to get him the puck more. I know he's playing better, but we still need to get him the puck
A
more.
lot of their success last year came from getting
Yeah.
the puck on the power play.
Exactly.
Their power play right now, they're at 22% success rate. They're 25-ish last year. That's not bad.
Yeah. The other
Considering where they were, it's a lot better.
the other thing, penalty kill.
Yeah.
I need to see more. Listen, we're playing all right. We only let up, I think, 6 power play goals this year, but I still think 24% is not great considering what it was 2 years ago. We were like the best penalty kill team in the league.
Yeah.
Buchnevich killed us by him going. He was just so good at the penalty
I love
kill.
them.
I don't really like Kreider on the penalty kill, but I would like to see the penalty kill be a little better. I mean, Igor. He's the best one.
Can't say about him.
It's not a question.
He's getting better every
Yeah,
time.
I don't know. I like what they're doing a lot, and I think tonight's gonna be an amazing game. And it's gonna be a huge test.
If they can
one of
pull it
the
out
games-
tonight, then I'll say, you
Yeah.
know what, the Rangers look good. We'll be able to kind of sit
Yeah.
back and breathe. And hey,
We played well against the Stars too. That 6-3 win. It was a slow start,
very
but-
yeah.
and after Ottinger left, we blew up. Ottinger's now hurt, but we played really well. Jeremy, got anything on the Rangers?
Vinny Trocheck, man,
I
he's
love that guy.
awesome.
Yeah,
He is
he's
awesome.
really good.
That's a great signing.
He's like 100 times better than Reinstrom.
Well, Ryan, that's not saying much. Ryan
I
Sherman
hate
is
Sherman.
awful,
Oh my
but
god.
Trocheck is awesome. 9 points, 4 goals, 5 assists. Trocheck is awesome. Big face-off guy in the second line. Can't say enough about it. It's awesome. Of course, Igor. I don't want to see Halak in the net anymore. I think I'd rather see Keith Kincaid. But no, I do like what I'm saying for the Rangers. I do want Kreider to get the puck in front of the net more. 'Cause that's his hot spot. You give Kreider a tip, 9 out of 10 times it's going in the back of the net. So,
Real quick, the retros look so good.
oh yeah, they're wearing it tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
they look good.
We
They
gotta
look
buy
weird.
one.
They look very weird, but they look good.
we gotta buy one. Yeah, but the Broadway blue shirts are looking better. So
Yeah, for sure.
definitely nice to see.
You guys want to do some NBA?
Yeah, let's talk about the Knicks and how sad of a basketball
Let's
team they
talk
are.
about the next real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Still can't beat the Hawks, or even compete with the Hawks.
I don't, it's what I've been saying for years, and the reason I have not been watching them is we don't have a star. I'm sorry, Jalen Brunson is not a star. He's good.
RJ Barrett could be.
He could be,
He should be. He's not.
but he's not yet.
I
And
know.
he needs a star to make him a star.
Agreed.
I think, as sad as this sounds, and I don't know if I'll like it, I think a guy like Kyrie, I think a trade for Kyrie could be coming. Because I don't think he's going to be on that team much longer.
He's just so good. I know
You guys
he's
should sign
I know
Miles
he's
Bridges.
distractions.
Who's playing?
And Josh Primo too.
What?
They said Miles Bridges today. He's not going to jail.
Yeah,
3 years
he's on 3 years
probation, no jail. But we don't have a star. We're not going to be the
They
team.
haven't had a
We're not
star
going
in
to be the
so
team
long.
with Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. One of our best players is Jalen Brunson.
They haven't had a star since 2012 with
I know,
Melo.
exactly.
Which
It's
is-
just, we
what
need
year are we
to
in?
get somebody.
What year are we in?
2022.
That's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And what did they do 10 years ago? They made the playoffs.
I don't know. We need a star. It's that simple. The team looks good. It's young.
It's not
You know,
sold on Randall.
We were playing well with the Hawks. Blew up late. Playing well with the Bucks. Bucks won a 12-0 run. I think in the third quarter.
Like,
Blew up.
It's always last year. The problem was always the
We're a
third
great
quarter.
first half team, and then that's it.
It's always the third quarter with them. That's what it was last year. That's what it's looking like it is this year.
Yeah. Third quarter is just.
And again, Randall just complaining about everything. Dude, I understand that there's going to be calls that are missed, but every single call you can't complain about. Just dribble the ball and go shoot. Put the ball in the basket.
I need to see a star on that team. That's all I have to say. We need to make a trade. Don't even wait. If I had to see them not make a trade for a good player, and I have to wait again for the off season and free agency, and we're gonna get nobody. Oh my God, we're
It's
losing.
the same thing every single
Every year.
That's the most annoying thing.
Every
It's
single
always
year.
the same thing.
I want to talk about my Milwaukee Bucks. They're really good
They are.
at
Think so?
basketball.
Yeah.
They're 7-0, the only undefeated team in the league.
You think they're going to break the record? Most wins in the regular season?
No, I don't want to get too overzealous here, but they do have the best defense in the league right now, statistically speaking.
You have Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
How do you score the ball against them?
They're allowing 103.8 points per game, which is best in the league.
That's
They
insane.
also have
my
the best defensive efficiency rating. Something exciting, they're second in the league in attendance, which I love
I love that
That's
too.
cool.
Wow.
That's
Small
where'd you find that
market
stat?
team.
Where are you
Small
looking?
players.
Market team. We have newer arena. I think it's in its second year, third year maybe. But I think what I love most about what the Bucks are doing right now is that they're 7-0 and they're balling without Chris Middleton,
Yeah.
who's hurt, and
This
also
is
without.
come back.
It's not going to be too long. Middleton will be back soon.
Okay.
They're also doing without Joe Ingles, who's supposed to be,
I didn't even know he was
The
a
shooter.
bigger depth piece.
The
That's
shooter,
one of the
right?
better,
Yeah.
one of the better
He's
3D
lights
guys.
Lethal.
Lights out.
One of the better 3D guys in the league. Javon Carter is starting in wake of Chris Middleton's absence, and when you're 7-0 and Javon Carter's in your starting lineup, you're doing something right.
Wasn't he leading the team in points last night? 2 minutes ago?
I don't. He's averaging like 5 points a game.
Oh, really? I must have thinking of somebody
Yeah,
else.
Javon Carter is not like he's a great basketball player. He's bald. He's like
Yeah.
26.
Brooke
So,
Lopez and like Kelly Olynyk
Yeah,
are like the two
right.
best 3-point shooters in the league.
they're winning because Giannis is the best player in the league. He's playing like MVP. You mentioned Drew Holiday. He's not the best point guard in the league, but I've been trying to figure out a way to word this. I think he's the best at his job at the point guard position in the league.
When nobody can score on him, he doesn't need to. You
Yes, right. He fulfills his role
Yeah.
better than any point guard in the league, and that's not to say he's a role player and he averages 20 points a game, but he just does his job better than any point guard in this league. I think he's unreal. You mentioned Brooke Lopez. He's playing like prime Brooklyn
Brooke
Nets.
Lopez.
Brooke Lopez. He's like one of the most lethal 3-point.
Yeah,
men
where
in
did
the
that
league.
come from?
As soon as he got to Milwaukee, they're like, all right, you shoot threes now, and
Make everyone.
he hasn't missed a beat. Bobby Portis, I mean,
I love that guy.
one of the best 6 men in the league.
Yeah.
So glad we brought him back in the offseason, signed him to a longer deal. I love Bobby Portis. He's really one of the premier 6 men in the league. Mike Budenholzer, he's coaching like a top coach, which we all knew he was. I think people tend to forget about him, but I mean the reality is Mike Budenholzer is a top 3 coach in this league. Any way you slice it, this team is just so good, so well coached. I can't wait to see how things go once Middleton and Ingles get healthy.
The news just came in. Kyrie Irving has been suspended.
No way. Okay.
5 games without that.
So
That's it?
Adam Silver.
Meeting
I
with
saw-
Adam Silver did not go.
Adam Silver was meeting with him in person. I saw that.
5
earlier.
games, no bet.
Why don't Kyrie Irving send this?
Oh, I should never draft that kind of thing.
I
He's so good though when he plays.
What do you think? What do you think he said in this meeting? What do you think Kyrie could
You
have
know,
possibly?
lately he's been saying like, "I'm sorry, I should have done that."
So he's backtracking.
Yeah.
Which
Sounds like somebody else in the media.
he's the Kanye West of basketball. I think everyone knows that. Also, Marcus Stroman. I don't know if you saw Marcus Stroman's tweets. He's the Kyrie Irving of baseball.
I'm so happy to
and
have
the
him.
Kanye West.
He's
of
so
baseball.
electric when he plays, but oh my god, he's a keep his
So
mouth.
yeah, Marcus
Marcus
Stroman.
4.6 year, right?
Marcus Stroman's been taking some notes from Kyrie. Words cannot explain how much I hate Kyrie. He's such a diva. He's such an idiot.
He's so good at that.
Like, I think he's made Kevin Durant more annoying too, just because Kevin Durant has to suffer playing with him,
Not even just him.
being around him.
Ben Simmons also. He's got to play with Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons.
But I do not hate Ben Simmons at all when he's on the 76ers.
He's just not good.
Like, I liked him his rookie year, and now I hate Ben Simmons. It's like the Midas touch, where everything you touch turns to gold. Well, everything the Brooklyn Nets touch turns to garbage, and it turns to me hating everything they do. From top to bottom, this organization, I don't even want to talk about it. Like, I can't. I'm so glad they're underperforming. I feel so badly for Steve Nash. I'm partially glad he's done. He doesn't have to suffer through that team anymore. But like, the way they handled that was so awful, so poor. I feel terrible.
Well, one other team I'm worried about, the Sixers.
No
Harder
for
now
a month,
a
yeah.
month.
What?
The Embiid.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that?
today,
Am I sleeping?
His foot. Embiid is now starting to miss games. He's a flu now,
It's
but
inevitable.
when,
That
when
guy
if
is
he's
such-
missing games because of the flu, that's like, oh no.
He is
So not only is
just
it
glass.
injuries,
He's a walking glass
he's
paint.
missed 3 games already. No Harden.
I mean,
One thing though, Tyrese Maxey.
Where
looks
did
like
he
the
come
next Looks like the next Curry.
He's nuts.
Doesn't miss.
He is nuts.
He legitimately could be a number one star.
Tyrese Maxey is so good. He shooting 7 from 3 the other night at halftime.
The problem is he's now with Embiid being off and on the court and no Harden. He's literally like
The only
the
scorer.
offense. Yeah, so
Yeah.
the rest
And
of the team
he's gonna put up 30 a game.
I know. That's good.
We still
But,
find one of these.
I think that's going to wrap it up for the evening. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Don't go anywhere, though. 'Cause we got a real treat coming up next hour. Zeke and Jake's show, followed by Victory Lap with James and Shane. Thank you all for tuning in. Rich, Witz, and Jacob. Have a good night, everybody.
Let's go, Jets.
Let's go, Master Seafood.
That's how you end an episode.
Let's go, Master Seafood.
Your name was loving it.
Did you guys just hear about Kyrie getting suspended?
Yep.
Yeah.